Hey lovely people, welcome back once again to another exciting episode of Stitches Beads Collection. I'm Miss Stitches. Today in this video I'm going to share with you how to make this beautiful and easy designed handmade beaded bags. Before we start, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button. Let's get started. Materials needed. So you cut your fish line, you make sure it's long enough. You cut it off. We are using 0.60 mm. You make sure you have the ends of the fish line. You pick 4 beads. Fix on any side of the fish line, being it the right side or the left side. Fix all 4 beads. And then you cross with the 4th bead using the other side of the fish line. You make sure you have the ends. So one side will be longer than the other, you pull it out, and then you have your first ring done. Then you pick 3 beads, fix one on the left fish line, fix one on the right fish line, and then you cross with the 3rd bead using both fish lines. You still make sure you have the ends, you pull it out, and then you have your 2nd ring done. You still pick 3 beads, fix one on the left fish line, fix one on the right fish line, and then you cross with the 3rd bead using both fish lines. You make sure you have the ends, you pull it out, and then you have your 3rd ring done. So you are going to weave on with the same method until you have 14 of the rings, and I'm going to do that off camera. So we have 13 now, and then with the 14th part on this fish line, you fix 3 beads, cross with the 3rd bead using the other side of the fish line, you pull it out, and then you have the fish line turned like this. Then on this fish line, you fix 3 beads again, cross with the 3rd bead using the other side of the fish line, you pull it out. So you have the fish line turned like this. Then with the right fish line, you go through the next 1 bead, fix 2 beads on the left fish line, cross with the 2nd bead using the right fish line, you pull it out, and then with the right fish line, you go through the next 1 bead, fix 2 beads again on the left fish line, cross with the 2nd bead using the right fish line, you pull it out, and then you weave on with the same method till you get to the last end. So when you get to the last but 1 bead, with the right fish line, you go through the last bead, and then on this fish line, on the outer fish line, you fix 2 beads, cross with the 2nd bead using the other side of the fish line, you pull it out, then you have it turned like this. Then on this fish line, you fix 3 beads, cross with the 3rd bead using the other side of the fish line, which is my right fish line, you pull it out, then you go through the next bead. Then you fix 2 beads again on the left fish line, cross with the 2nd bead, you pull it out, then you go through the next bead. Fix 2 beads again on the left fish line, cross with the 2nd bead, you pull it out, and then you go through the next bead. So we are going to weave on from here to this end using the same method, and I'm going to do that off camera. So this is what you should get after you are done. This is what you have, and we have the mat forming up. So I'm going to weave on until we have 6 steps, and we have 3 now, so I'm going to add 3 more, and I'm going to do that off camera. So this is what you should get after you are done, and you should do 2 of this. Then we are going to use this metal frame, so we are just going to attach the mat on the metal frame, just like this. So you attach it this way. It's just going to be on the frame. So with a new fish line, and I'm using 0.5 because it's light and we are using that. So you just open up your frame this way, and then you go through this first hole here, you pull it out from the other side, then you have it this way, then you make sure you have the ends of the fish line, and then with this fish line you count 1 2 3, and then you go through the third bead. So we are starting from the third bead from the top side. So you go through that bead, you pull it out, then you have it like this. Then with this fish line you skip this second hole and go through the third one, then you pull it out from this side. So you have it like this. Then with the left fish line you go through the same hole where you came out with the right fish line. Please watch carefully so you won't be confused. So you have both fish lines like this. Then with this same fish line you skip this hole and go through the next one. You skip this and go through the next one, then you pull it out from this side. Then with this fish line, the left fish line, you go through the second bead, you pull it out, then you have it like this. Then with that same fish line you go through this hole, the same hole you passed the right fish line through. So you have both fish lines coming out like this from the same hole. Then with this right fish line you go through the next hole here. So you skip one and go through the next one, you pull it out, then you have it like this. Then with the left fish line you go through the bead, the third bead here, you pull it out, then you have it like this. Then with that same fish line you go through the same hole you went through with the right fish line, then you pull it out, and then have both fish lines coming out from the same hole like this. Then on this fish line you skip this next hole and go through the next one like this, you pull it out, then you have it like this. Then with the left fish line you go through this fourth bead here, you pull it out. Then with that same fish line you go through the same hole you went through with the other fish line, you pull it out from this side. Then you have both fish lines coming out from the same hole like this. So this is what you should have. Then with this same fish line you skip the next hole and then go through the second one. So you go through the next two holes, you pull it out from this side. Then with the left fish line you go through the fifth bead, you pull it out, then you go through the hole you went through with the other fish line, you pull it out from this side. Then you have both fish lines coming out from the same hole, just like this. So this is all we are doing for this side, and we are going to weave on till you get to the end of the frame. So from here to this place, and I'm going to do that off camera. So this is what we have, and we are going to pass our excess fish lines through the bead to secure this part of the work. And this is what you should get after you are done attaching the bead to the frame. So you can just close it up like this. So this is what you should get. And then I'm going to attach the second one on this side using the same method. So you just attach that one like this, and I'm going to do that off camera. So this is what I have after attaching both mat to the frame, and then you can open it up and then you have it like this. So we are going to join this side, so we are going to close this side so we can get the bag we want. So with the new fish line, and I'm using this one, I'm using 0.6. So you just go through this second bead here, you skip this one and go through this bead. So you go through the second bead, you pull it out, then on this top fish line you fix one bead. Then with that same fish line where you fix the bead, you go through the second bead from this side, you pull it out, so you have the bead in the middle of both sides. So you can just press it down like this, then it goes to stay. And then you pick one bead again and cross it both sides of the fish line. Make sure you have the end, so one side will be longer than the other, you pull it out. Then with the right fish line you go through the next bead, with the left fish line you go through the next bead. Then you pick one bead again and cross it both sides of the fish line, you pull it out. Then with the right fish line you go through the next one bead, with the left fish line you go through the next one bead. Then you pick one bead again, cross with both sides of the fish line, you pull it out. Then you weave on with the same method so you get to the last end. So after you are done, you are just going to pass our excess fish line through to secure this part of the work. And this is what you should have after you are done joining the sides of the purse. And we are now going to design around the bag to make it nice. So I have my fish line fixed with my needle, and I'm using 0.35 for this because it's small and could pass through the beads. So I'm going to pass the fish line through the beads for it to come out from this side. It should come out from this side. Then we have it here. So this is what you should get. Then I'm going to weave around it. So I'm using this pearl beads, and this is 6 mm. This is the perfect size for what we are about to do. So you just fix 4 beads on your needle, you pull it down. So you have it here. Then with your needle you go through this first bead here, you go through this bead this way, you pull it out. Then you have it like this. Then with your fish line you will pass through the 4 beads for it to come out from this bead here, from this last bead. Then you have it here. Then you go through this big bead, then you have it like this. Then on this fish line you fix 3 beads, you pull it down, and then with your fish line you go through this small bead, you pull it out, and then you go through the big bead here again, and then the small bead. So you go through this big bead and then this first small bead, so you have it like this. Then on this fish line you fix 3 beads again, you pull it down, then with your fish line you go through this big bead and this small bead. So you have it here. Then you pass the fish line through to this bead here, so you have it like this. Then you go through the big bead again, you have it here. Then you fix 3 beads again, pull it down, then you go through this small bead and the big bead. Then out of the last small bead here, so this is where you should have your fish line. Then you fix 3 small beads again, you pull it down, then you go through this big bead and the small bead here. So you have it here, then you pass your fish line through to this small bead again, then through the big beads here, then you fix 3 beads again, you pull it down, then you go through this small bead and the big bead, so your fish line will come out from the big bead like this. Then you go through this big bead, so on this fish line you fix 4 beads, and then you go through the big bead, so you have it like this. Then you go through the small bead, so you have the fish line here. You are going to weave all around with the same method throughout, using the same method. So this is what you should get after you are done with this design. You are going to pass excess fish lines through to secure the design we did around it. You can do the same thing at the back, or you just do it for one side and leave the other side, and it looks very beautiful. So I'm going to pass my fish lines through to secure it, and this is what I get after I'm done. So we have it like this, looking so beautiful and nice. You can just open it up, put your things in them, close it up, and don't forget you can do the design at both sides, or you can do it just for one side as I have done. And we are done with our mini purse. So you can do this in any color of your choice. You can increase the length of it. Please give this video a thumbs up if you want to see more and more of my tutorials. Make sure to comment and share as well. Stay safe. See you in my next video. Have a nice day and bye.